on this beautiful, fine, Thursday night. It's Friday afternoon over here. I am coming to you live from Wallen, Australia, in beautiful I'm in Victoria, so one of the southern states of Australia, if you don't know how it works. So, yes. I am coming to you today with a little bit of insight. I've had a few things happen this week for me, a few lows, a few highs, but I'm here and loving life, taking deep breaths and just accepting everything. And that's a really interesting thing because I know it's been, this week has been a lot of ups and downs. And yes, there is to do with weather. It's to do with the celestial energy and the moon phases and all those lovely things. But we've also got to understand that we've got to be kind to ourselves. We've got to accept the days that we're really, really low. And when we're really low, be happy to ask, be aware and be kind to yourself to ask for help from other friends, mentors, guides. Just be open to it, because when we can sit in pride, sometimes it can be too much of our pride that holds us back, and we get stuck in a stagnant energy that we can no longer move through or no longer can see a good perspective, because we are so connected with this stagnant energy that we can't see our way. It's like mud, like we drudge through the mud and we just can't see our way through it. So when you've got your beautiful friends, just ask. If they say they don't have time or they're not available at that time, that's not to say that they can come and see you or connect with you 2 to 3 days later. But as long as you've put your hand up and said, I need help, that is the best way to start healing yourself and start being in center with yourself. And what I found this week, I have gone through the lows and the highs this week. It's not just, we are not all light. We do have our shadow selves, and we do need to go through all these things. So what you guys do go through, we've been through previously, so then we can help you guide through and just have a little bit more sense of empathy about what's going on around you. So for me this week, doing the lows, but also getting mentored from a beautiful friend of mine and life coach, to seeing where I was at and what I was doing and where I needed to change and my thought process. And then to have a beautiful high, I connected with a beautiful client this week and started helping with the grieving process of losing someone not that long ago. And it's a beautiful sort of balancing act that we've got to go, we've got to be kind to ourselves so we can balance. We are now needing to be more kind. So I will leave you guys with that this week. I just want to say, be balanced, be kind, and just be aware that we are here to help you. Psychics and mediums are here to help you. And I know some beautiful psychics and mediums on this page are also counselors and holistic counselors. We are there to help you. So please put your hand up. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Even in our normal lives, ask family for help. It's like when we get stuck in pride, or where we have this pride, we get stuck in this mundane sort of stagnant energy that if we ask for help, it just gives us a bit of a lifeline to go, I never saw it that way. That makes sense. So I just want to leave those little things for you this week, because that's what my week's been. So, and I'm sure it would have hit with a few people this week as well. So being kind to yourself and just feeling the love for yourself is really, really important. So I have my first caller. This is Abigail. Hi, Abigail. How are you going?
Fine. How are you doing?
Good. Some technical issues, but we're not going to say any more about that. So hopefully Spirit will guide me and help me this time.
Right.
Now, did you want to go psychic or mediumship, Abigail, or just whatever comes through?
Whatever that comes straight. But I was I'm concerned about my relationship, because I'm.
And I was going to say. You've got two questions. I hear that you've got two questions. Would that make sense? Because I know you just said relationship, but there's something else underlying as well. So I just see the two questions. But I also want to say, Abigail, I've got this beautiful lady. I'm just going to turn my volume up a bit. I've got this beautiful lady here who would like to say hello, and she's wearing a beautiful, great brim sort of hat, or she always wore a sun hat, and she's just making me aware that she wants to give you the biggest hug and love. Now, I don't feel like she was very old when she passed. I feel like she was, whether or not she was in, she's giving me 56. I don't know if that's the age, but I'm just hearing 56 around her. I don't feel like that's the age that she passed, but she's presenting with that number at the moment. But she's just wanting to give you a massive hug. She's also wanting to make me aware, I don't know if she's on mum's level, so I don't know if it's mum, mother-in-law, auntie, but I just want to make reference to that level for you. And are you one of 4 children?
Yes.
Thank you. Because I just want to bring through this lady coming through and giving you a massive hug, because I know you've got question, but I just had to bring her through. I had to acknowledge her, okay, if that makes sense to you. But I just want to say she's got this beautiful, I want to say she's still wearing sun hats, or there's something about hats, because I want to say it's a big, like a brim hat. It's got this beautiful big brim. It's got beautiful orangey, peachy flowers. There's something about peachy flowers that she wants to bring through on this hat. But she's got this beautiful light essence about her, and she's wearing these beautiful light clothes. Now, I don't feel like she was quite that tall, but I know she was a medium build, maybe a little bit smaller. But I just want to say this is what she's presenting now, okay? Now, she's also saying, yes, you've got two, it's like I want to say she's got her body back. She keeps saying, I've got my body back. So whether or not she was not well before she passed, or she was quite sickly, but I just want to say she's got her muscles back. She's able to move is what she's telling me. So I'll just leave that with you. But she goes, you've got a relationship question, but you've also got something around work as well. But she just wants to say, and I also want to say work on the relationship, but I don't want to go there just yet. But she just wants to acknowledge that she's around you at this time. Now, I also want to say September's a really, whether or not September's a month for birthdays or celebrations, but I feel like it's around her, not around you. And I know you're the starting with A, but is there also an A name on, I would say, I want to be drawn to mum's side of the family, but I want to say there's another A name I want to bring through, like A-N. So I don't know if it's Anne, Andrea. There's just that reference to the A-N name that I want to bring through. Now, also, she just wants to say to you that you need to be kinder to yourself. And there's a beautiful love essence with that. But with your relationship question, I want to say, have you been pushed out of your comfort zone with this relationship? Would that make sense? I feel like you've been treading on water that you're treading in issues that never really have come across before, or it's just, I want to say, pushing you out of your comfort zone. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Because I want to say you sort of like to hold things close to your chest, but I feel like, okay, so you're in this relationship at the moment, yes?
No, not really, but, you know, we're talking and leading up to a relationship.
Okay, so this would make sense with you holding your cards close to your chest and holding your sort of feelings close to your chest, because I feel that in the last, I'm getting 5 years, or 5 years ago, you had issues with a relationship that really sort of pulled you apart. Like, I want to say you've only just really started to get the puzzle pieces back together within yourself and your self-love. And I feel like that's why I feel like taking the leap of faith or pushing you out of your comfort zone, this relationship will be. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like he's a real gentle, I want to say he's a real gentle soul, or they're a real gentle soul. They've got this beautiful sensitivity, and I know that they will take their time with you. There's just that reference to taking time, but it's worth it. And this is what I keep hearing your it's like I want to say you've got your mum. Has your mum passed?
Am I at my mom's house?
Yeah, is your mum passed, or is it a grandmother that would be like a mum to you?
My grandmother and my aunt.
Okay, so would they be like mums to you? Would that make sense? Because I just feel like this motherly sort of energy. Yep, thank you. Because I didn't think it was mum, but I knew it was connected to mum. So there's just that reference there. But they just want to, I'm getting chills, like they're being here, they're giving me chills. And this is where I want to say to you, when you feel that you're at your lowest or you feel like you're a little bit alone, just open your awareness a little bit. And if you feel like your hairs are raising up or you're getting like the chills, you know how you get the little goose pimples or little goosebumps. I just want to say when you feel that, you know that they're close to you, giving you a bit of a helping hand. It's like I want to say they're helping you up to be happy within yourself. But I do feel like this relationship's going to go a little bit further. There's a reference to allowing your cards to be laid out on the table rather than being close to your chest. And I do want to say I'm being told that if you ever play poker, you've got a really good poker face.
If I what? Excuse me?
So I just want to say that if you ever play poker, Abigail, and you've got a really good poker face, like you will not let people know how you're feeling because you've just got this really beautiful poker face. Would that make sense to you?
Oh, yes, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because you don't wear your heart on your sleeve, do you? You hold it very close to your chest, and you hold your feelings close to your chest. Is what I'm hearing.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I also want to say that with you opening up your heart and laying your cards out on the table, you'll get more of a reaction with this beautiful relationship. I just feel like this relationship is going to be slow, but it's going to be worth it. So I'll leave that. That's what I'm hearing with you as well. But work, I want to say, do you work I feel like you work nearly 24/7, or you like to keep yourself active with work. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, that's true.
Thank you. Yeah. And I do want to say that sometimes when you work so hard, you don't leave time for yourself. And this is where I want to say you need to sort of step back a little bit and start finding things that you love to do again. I don't know if dance is a reference. Now, I don't feel like dance as in contemporary, like going out and doing classes. I just feel like going out to a pub or a hotel and dancing. I'm hearing blues music or jazz music around you as well. So there's just a reference to that. And just dancing. I just feel like dancing's a really important thing for you. Exercise, I don't feel like it's a really major thing, but dancing for you gets you out of your own head and allows you to breathe. So can I leave that with you? Right. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Awesome. And yeah, work, I feel that it's quite steady. It's like a bit of an anchor for you, but just be open to opportunities next year around January, February. For you, Abigail, I feel like there's whether or not there's a promotion or a change or a little bit more responsibility. So I don't know if you're a manager now, but I just want to say taking on more responsibility is what I see next year for you.
When?
Next year around January, February.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So January, February, I feel like there's a new opportunity coming for you to give you a little bit more responsibility. And also I want to say, have you been a little bit lackluster with work at the moment? I feel like it's a little bit mundane, or it's just like you're going to work and you're clocking on, clocking off, clocking on, clocking off. There's no real excitement. There's no real sort of, it's not that you're not happy. I just feel like it's not triggering things in you to, I just feel like it's a little bit slow or boring, or there's not a lot going on, but I know you're really busy. Does that make sense? It's not pushing you out of your comfort zone.
I teach college.
Oh, okay. So I just feel like there's a little bit of, it's like I want to say it's just a clock in, clock out, and there's I feel like the excitement sort of moved a little bit from where you were so many years ago. Have you been doing this for like 15, 20 years?
Have I been where?
Have you been teaching for about 20 years?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, my gosh, you're scared. Oh, my gosh, yes.
Okay, because I just want to say I feel like there's a bit of a change up that needs to happen. So, but it's not to say that you're getting out of teaching. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like there's some other things coming in for you. So in the same like work environment, so the same teaching, but I just want to say it's like the excitement sort of dulled down a little bit and you need to sort of pep it up. a bit more fireworks, I hear. So, Abigail, may I leave that with you?
Yes, thank you so much. You were on point.
You're most welcome.
I really appreciate it.
Oh, no, thank you. And thank you for taking my call and connecting with me today. And connect with me on Jordie Jane's Psychic Medium on my Facebook page. That would be lovely. Thank you, Abigail. Have a lovely weekend. I know it's only Thursday, but have a lovely weekend over there.
All right, you as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, my next caller, I will go to Joanna in Calgary. Hi, Joanna. How are you going?
Hi, Joanna.
How are you? That's good. Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Now, did you want to go psychic or mediumship today?
Sorry? Yeah.
Did you want to go psychic or mediumship or a bit of both?
A bit of both.
Thank you. Sorry, that's good because I've got a gentleman stepping forward and he's literally pushing me in the back like, I'm here. So I just want to bring through this gentleman now. I am feeling very, I'm being drawn to my chest. I'm really being very drawn to my chest at the moment. So he's coming through and I'm also feeling like whether or not he had a heart attack or there was heart issues around him, but I just feel like he's coming through with his heart issue. And I feel like he did pass from heart issues or heart attack. I also want to say he's got a little bit of a pot belly or a little bit of a slouch to him, but I feel like he's got a bit of a pot belly, but not a big one. I just feel like he's got this little pot belly, and I don't feel like he's quite tall either. I feel like he's about 5'6", 5'7". I don't feel like he's 6 foot, and he's also got these beautiful sort of shoulders.
Is somebody deceased?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So they're trying to say something?
Yes, because they're coming through, they're pushing me in the back, which is really interesting because sometimes when I get that, I know they're sort of coming through, but there's just a reference to me connecting with him and he's really sort of stepping forward. And I want to say that he's very vocal and I do want to be drawn to mum's side of the family with him. So I don't know if he's a grandfather or I feel like it's like I want to say on grandfather or grandfather is what I hear from him. I'm also getting a J, and I don't know if there's a you're Joanna, sorry, but there's also a Joseph, a male J name that I want to bring through as well on the family. And he's also wanting to say that
alive or no?
No, he's passed.
Pardon me? Oh, okay,
he's passed. Okay. Yeah. And I feel like he's on mum's side of the family. I'm being drawn to mum's side. But I just want to say that he's got heart issues or he had a heart attack. But I don't feel like he was very old. He's given me 68 to 72. So can I leave that with you, Joanna? But he's just wanting to let you know that, okay, is mum still here? And mum's still alive?
My mum?
Yes.
Yeah, my mum is.
Thank you. And is mum one of 4 children or 4 girls?
3.
Okay. So is there, because he's making me aware of the 4 children. So are you one of 4?
No. Oh,
okay.
Well, half step, like on my dad's side. So 1 of 4 for my dad.
Okay, thank you. That's okay, thank you. Oh, okay. Now, has Dad passed?
No.
Okay, he's still here. Okay, thank you. Because he's just wanting to acknowledge Dad as well. He wants to say hello to Dad. So I've got a sense that this is your grandfather on mum's side, but I'll leave this with you just for a minute because I am being drawn to mum's side and I am being drawn to grandfather. But he's just wanting to say, and I don't feel like he's a very tall man. I feel like he's quite stocky. And he just wants to let you know that it's like I want to say he's got your back with things going on around you at the moment, Joanna. So I feel like there's something.
Because when you first said it, I thought that it was on my dad's side, his dad.
Okay.
That passed away when I was like 7. Long ago, I was like 7, and I'm 34.
Okay, so let me just, because I'm just wondering if for him to say hi to mum or there's a reference to the connection to mum. But whether or not he loved or liked mum, but I just want to make reference to that, okay? But I just want to say if it is connected to dad's side, I'm just going to leave it with you because I know I've got him here, but he's drawing me to say hi to mum. Now, is mum having a few health concerns at the moment? I just feel like she's changing her health regime. There's something about change in health with her, but not in a bad way. I just feel like things are moving around her. Would that make sense to you then?
Depression. Just major depression, trying to quit smoking. She feels neglected by my brothers, have believed in their father a lot, and he fled from another province to ours with them, and they are brainwashed, basically. So she's very hurt.
Okay. Thank you. So with your mum, has she got health, like she's got a few things going on around her? Would that make sense to you then?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
because he's just wanting to...
And I don't know what you see, but yeah.
Okay, because I just want to say that he's around her, giving her comfort from the spirit world, okay? So I'll leave that with you, Joanna. There's just that reference there. Now, I do want to say there's a few you've got 3 questions that you want to answer. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Well,
thank you.
There's a mystery person that I met online in the dating, and I don't understand about. They're always busy. They have 2 jobs that we haven't met yet. This and that. Do you know any information? His name is Joey or Joseph. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Not my brother.
Okay.
I have a brother with the same name.
Oh, okay, cool. That's all right. Just so I can bring that. Okay, thank you. Now, have you been, with this question that you've asked, have you been like talking to him or them for the last 2 to 3 months? Would that make sense to you?
Not even 1 month. About a month.
Yeah. Okay. So 2 to 3 weeks. So I got 2 to 3, and sometimes I might get it mixed up whether or not it's weeks or months. So I know I saw 2 to 3.
I think weeks.
Now, Okay. So this is where I want to say to you, I feel like you need to just let it go. I need to just advise you to let it go. I don't feel like it's going to go any further or I just want to say it's taking its course. So, Joanna, I just want to say I feel like you need to step away from that. There's also a gentleman that you know around you at the moment that is actually quite keen on you, but I don't think he's really stepped forward for you yet. But I know he's around you, and I know he's got blonde or very light hair. He's also, thank you, I actually see him. He's alive. Don't get me wrong, he's alive. But I see this energy around you with this gentleman. Yes, you do. If not, he's an acquaintance of a friend, so you've actually met them. But they're very quite like light-headed, light-coloured hair with curls. Like I want to say there's a natural curl. And I do feel like he's got a bit of facial hair, but not too much. I'm also being made aware that he's a couple of years younger than you. So whether or not he's just hit 30 or he's 29, 30, but there's just a reference to that with him as well. But he's quite mature for his age, and I don't feel like he's got any baggage either. And he's quite a fun, like I want to say he's got this jovial energy around him that I know that you guys will meet up, you'll have a coffee. But I just want to make reference to having a coffee date. If you haven't already had one now, I just want to say there's a gentleman around you that may come in for a coffee date, or there's just a reference there. I also want to say that there's something coming up.
Who's going to say first? Because I don't know who you're talking about. So who's going to ask first?
I've got a sense that he's going to connect with you. And I would say it's going to be more in November than now. I feel like more November. I'm hearing November. And it's interesting because they're showing me that he's got a bit of facial hair.
Is this somebody that I'm talking to now? Is this somebody that
you may be talking?
I may have met. Pardon me?
Yes. It's like I want to say that you're talking, but you're not physically talking every single day. but I know that he's connected to you through a friend. There's a friend that's there as well, but I feel like there is a gentleman he's definitely stepping forward, and I can see him coming in for you in November. I feel like there's going to be, but it's more face-to-face rather than online. I feel like there's more of a connection face-to-face than online. So can I leave that with you, Joanna? I've only got a couple of seconds.
Is it friend of a girl or guy?
It's a guy, a friend of a guy. So there's like a guy friend, and then there's a friend behind, like I want to say he's an acquaintance of this friend of yours. And it's a male friend of yours that he's a friends with. So I'll leave that with you. I've only got about 60 seconds left, Joanna. So may I leave that with you? Thank you so much for connecting with me today. Have a lovely weekend, Joanna.
You too, Kate. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. And connect with me. And everyone, thank you so much for listening. Please connect with me on Jordie Jane, Psychic Medium. Have a lovely weekend. And I know it's Halloween month this month. And even though it's not in Australia, I still love it. So I've got my pumpkins out already on my little coffee table at the front. So have a lovely week, and I will see you all next week. Have a good weekend. Bye, guys.